Try, adapt, learn. In this video, we're going to replace the drive belt on a Cub Cadet XT1 lawnmower. If you haven't already subscribed, don't forget to subscribe now for more videos including DIY, maintenance, projects, and yard work. We will disconnect the negative cable from the battery for safety. The engine pulley keeper rod is then disconnected. The deck belt is removed from the engine pulley. The cotter pin to the deck lift rod is removed. At this time, the front of the mower was lifted with a jack and placed on jack stands. As an additional step or an alternative option, the mower deck could also be removed at this time. The fastener to the engine pulley was then removed with an electric impact tool. There was still tension from the drive belt. At the rear, the drive belt was then removed from the pulley and over the top of the fan on the hydrostatic transmission. This allowed the drive belt and engine pulley to be free and removed from the front. In addition to the front and rear pulleys, the drive belt will need to be removed from the two idler pulleys in the middle. The park brake was disengaged to release the tension off the idler pulley. With the drive belt loose from one of the idler pulleys, we can inspect the damage before cutting it. With the old belt cut, it can be completely removed. We can start installing the new belt over the fan and on the pulley at the top of the hydrostatic transmission. With the new belt installed on the rear pulley, the belt could be passed near the two idler pulleys. Once the belt is near the two pulleys, you may be able to wrap it around the pulley at the end of the idler bracket. At this point, you may want to try to remove the idler bracket first. As you will see, I removed the idler pulley first, which likely took longer than it should have. The fastener will be need to be removed from the idler pulley in the middle or the fulcrum of the idler bracket. This fastener can be removed from the bottom of the frame. If the pulley is removed before the bracket is free, inserting a wrench from the rear will be easier to hold the nut at the top while the fastener is removed from the bottom. It took a while to remove the fastener for the idler bracket assembly. Here's a view with the idler bracket assembly loose. After the bracket is free, the idler pulley can be removed easily. Since it took so much effort to remove, I thought I would clean and share the pulley with you to see. Before reinstalling the idler bracket, the cotter pin connected to the idler link was removed. Since the lawnmower has no service panel to access the idler bracket, it makes sense to remove the idler link first, then the spring so the idler bracket will be free. Here is a view of the idler link and the spring connected to the idler bracket. Since the view while working is tight, we can demonstrate how the idler pulley will be installed on the idler bracket. Keep in mind that this demonstration does not include the plate on the frame which the idler bracket will be sitting on. After the demonstration, the pulley was removed before setting the idler bracket in place. From this view, we can see the spacer and the fastener for the idler bracket. With all the hardware for the bracket lined up as seen in the previous demonstration, the nut and fastener were tightened from the rear and bottom. This view shows where to attach the spring to the idler bracket. Eye protection, safety gear, and caution should be used with any spring. Once the spring is attached, the idler bracket may be pulled toward the rear. I used a deck spring rod and a wrench to pull the spring back. Once the spring was pulled back far enough, I inserted the deck spring rod into the frame. Here are views of the deck spring rod and spring after it was reinstalled. With the idler bracket and spring reinstalled, the idler link can then be reinstalled near the steering gear. Once the idler link is in place, the cotter pin can be reinstalled to lock it in. With the bracket fully reinstalled, the assembly can be tested using the brake lever. With the drive belt on the top engine pulley, the engine pulley can be reinstalled. Please keep in mind that at this time the battery is still disconnected. With the pulley in place and belt inside the guides, the fastener for the pulley can be tightened down first started by hand, then with an electric impact tool. The deck lift rod was then reinserted into the deck. The cotter pin was then reinserted to lock the deck lift rod. The engine pulley keeper rod was then set into place. The fastener for the engine pulley keeper rod was then tightened down. The deck drive belt was then set in place. This should have been done prior to reinstalling the engine pulley keeper rod. This is another view of how the drive belt, engine pulley, deck drive belt, and engine pulley keeper rod look like when reinstalled. The front of the mower was again jacked up, but this time to remove the jack stands. With the jack stands removed, the front of the mower was brought down to the ground. The negative battery cable was then reconnected. As I make new videos, I want to share them with you, so subscribe now. Also comment, like, and check out some of the other content on our channel.